Question number 8. Question number 8 says we need to solve the quadratic by factoring. Alright, so the standard form for quadratic we've used a few times before, and factored form is two pairs of. So what we're going to do, guys, is that firstly you're going to make sure that each of your question is in the standard form for quadratic. Alright, this is technically in the standard form for quadratic because everything is already on the same side. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and try to put it into factored form. Alright, so again, it's already in standard form. Okay, I'm going to now put it to factored form. So again, this is already standard. So now I need to get factored. Alright, which is two pairs of parentheses. Alright, you put your x and your x. Alright, and these, when you factor this, guys, you ask yourself, what two same numbers multiply to give me 36? Yep, 6 and 6. Alright, and then because it's a negative here, you'll have different signs. So one of them is negative, the other is positive. So again, because of the negative here, different signs. Alright, and then all you got to do now is solve. Solve means that you're finding the value of x. Okay, so what you would be doing is that you would be saying x minus 6 is equal to 0, and you'll be saying x plus 6 is equal to 0. Alright, so here I would add 6 to both sides. That get cancelled. Alright, and x is equal to 6. Here I would subtract 6 on both sides. That would get cancelled, and x is equal to negative 6. What you can say is that you will now flip. Alright, so again, we got the factored form. Again, this is the factored form. And then after here, what we calculated here was essentially just trying to flip. So again, what we just did was just flip the signs. Negative 6 went to a positive 6. Positive 6 went to a negative 6. And these are my two answers. Alright, so next question. Okay, so first things first, guys, I need to make sure that it's in the standard form for quadratic. Is this in the standard form for quadratic? No, because everything is not already on the same side. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move everything to the same side. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. Or am I going to add it to x squared? No. Negative 9x? Yes, because that's a like term. Okay, this gets cancelled. How do I move a negative 2 to the other side? By adding 2. Am I going to add it to x squared? No. Negative 9x? No. Negative 20? Yes, because that's a like term. This gets cancelled. Alright, the x squared that's right here, I'm going to bring it down. Alright, negative 7x or negative 9x is being added to, with 2x. Negative 9x plus 2x is negative 7x. Alright, negative 20 is being added with 2. Negative 20 plus 2 is negative 18. Alright, so now we have the standard form for quadratic. This one we're going to have to factor in the way that we know how. So I'm going to put it to factored form. Two pairs of parentheses. Alright, to get an x squared, you put an x and an x. Find all the numbers that multiply to give you 18, which are 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Alright, which pair do you think would add and subtract to give you a 7? The 2 and the 9. Alright, so I put my 2 and the 9. When I see a negative here, I think about different signs. Alright, so that means that one of them will be positive, or there will be a negative. If the 9 was positive and the 2 was negative, that would give me positive 7, because 9 minus 2 is 7. But if the 2 was positive and the 9 was negative, I would get negative 7. And what did I want? Negative 7. So the 2 is positive, the 9 is negative. What you can use is a hint that the bigger number will have whatever this sign is. So the 9 is bigger, so it has whatever this sign is. Okay? And then all you got to do now, guys, is set them both equal to 0 or flip them. Alright, so your x values will be -2 and positive 9. So what you'll be doing is saying x plus 2 equals 0, minus 2, minus 2. That's how you get -2. X minus 9 equals 0. Add 9, add 9. That's how we got positive 9. Alright, so again, guys, those are our answers. So let's. Alright, guys, so first things first, I need to make sure that my equation is in the standard form for quadratic, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. This is not in the standard form, so I need to move the 4x to the other side. How do you move a positive 4x to the other side? By subtracting 4x. Alright, am I going to subtract it from x squared? No. From the -60? No. So there's nothing I can subtract it from, but technically there should be something in between the x squared and the constant. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to squeeze this in between. Okay, this gets cancelled. The x squared that's right here, I'm going to bring it down. The -4x, there's nothing to add and subtract it to, so I'm also going to bring it down. The -60, there's nothing to add it and subtract it to, so you're also going to bring it down. Alright, so now we have the standard form for a quadratic. So now I'm going to write factored form, which is 2 pairs of parentheses. Okay, to get an x squared, I need an x and an x. Now I'm going to find all the numbers that multiply to give me 60, which is 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3 and 20, 4 does not work, 5 and 12, right? 6 and 10, 7 don't work, alright, and more than likely so there's 12 and 5, and there's 15 and, actually 4 does work, 4 and 15, so I almost forgot that one, right? Which pair do you think would add and subtract to give me a 4? The 6 and the 10, alright? So I put my 6, put my 10, alright? And there's a negative here. I think about different signs. So one of them is positive, the other will be a negative. If the 6 was positive and the 10 was negative, that does give me -4. 6 minus 10 is -4. And what do we want? -4. So the 6 is going to be positive, 10 is going to be negative. Another hint you could use is that the bigger number has whatever this sign is. 10 is bigger than 6, so the bigger number has whatever this sign is, and then the other sign is different. Alright? So now you would go ahead and flip them to get your answers being -6 and positive 10. So again, you get your two answers, -6, positive 10, by flipping these answers. Or what you are actually doing is that you're setting each of these equal to 0. Alright, subtract 6, subtract 6. So that's how we got -6. Add 10, add 10. That's how we got positive 10. So these are our two answers. Alright, so again, just like that.